Welcome. This is not a program about motivation. It's a reminder. A reminder that every moment carries a decision. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You need clarity. You need courage. And most of all, you need presence. Because this moment is the only place change ever begins. Welcome to Your Moment Starts Now with Tony Zotti.
In a world that constantly demands attention and approval, the greatest investment you will ever make is the quiet one, the investment you make within yourself. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I'm truly grateful you're here with me. Today's message, quiet investment. When was the last time you invested in yourself quietly? This is a question that should make us stop and truly reflect on its life-changing power. Today, I want to talk about self-improvement. How do we accomplish this? These are two words that carry great weight and will keep us grounded in everything we do. As usual, in this second season, we begin with these words. Let's lay down the foundation. As a society, we have been overwhelmed by the noise around us. Constant digital comparison, social media performance, cancel culture dynamics, identity-based approval systems. None of this helps us develop internal governance. Instead, it trains us to depend on external approval. Will they like me? Will I be judged? Will they make fun of me? These are serious concerns people deal with every day. Yet, many people are afraid to admit them. So let's stop for a moment. Focus on what we're trying to establish. Don't go looking for something else to distract you, because distractions are not investments. They are liabilities. Listen carefully. When you don't take time for yourself, what you're really doing is overstimulating your mind, while feeling an emptiness that no one else can fill. You were not built to live this way. You were built to be effective, not dependent. You have everything you need inside of you, much more than you think. And I'm speaking from experience. There were many times when I felt empty, alone, fearful, and unfulfilled. I became defensive and cold. I truly believed I had no way out. I kept being hard-headed until one day something happened. I was reading the Bible and came across the story of King David. David was a great man, a conqueror remembered even today. Yet, I realized something powerful. He struggled with the same problems we face today. That moment changed me. So stop for a moment and listen to these words of wisdom. Psalms 62, 1-5. I wait quietly before God, for my victory comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress where I will never be shaken. So many enemies against one man, all of them trying to kill me. They delight in telling lies about me. They praise me to my face, but curse me in their hearts. Let all that I am wait quietly before God, for my hope is in Him. Let's recognize something remarkable. David chose to wait quietly. That decision gave him confidence, even though he was facing tremendous opposition. One line especially stood out to me. They praise me to my face, but curse me in their hearts. Tell me something. Has that ever happened to you? Of course it has. Some people are double-minded. They are not honest. And I decided I didn't want to live like that. After meditating on these words, I realized something needed to change. I decided quiet time would become a non-negotiable. Until we decide this for ourselves, no motivational speech will ever make a lasting impact in our lives. But when I began practicing this quiet investment, something incredible happened. It added value to my life. It built my confidence. It removed unnecessary weight that had been holding me back from becoming who I was meant to be. Now listen carefully. This did not happen instantly. Every good thing takes time. So let me give you simple and practical ways to begin this process. I call these the waiting periods. Why? Because they go against everything our fast-paced society teaches us. And that's exactly why they work. So let's roll up our sleeves and look at waiting period 1. Introduce yourself to yourself. This may sound strange and funny. Wait and stay with me though. When was the last time you truly paused and said, "Let me introduce myself to myself"? Approach it as if you're meeting someone new. You say, "Hello, Tony, nice to meet you." Yes, it may feel awkward at first, but stay with it. Now be honest. When you talk to yourself, what do you usually hear? Encouragement or criticism? This matters. We compliment others so easily. We hope others will compliment us. But sometimes those compliments are not even sincere. So here's the key. Introduce yourself to yourself with respect. Treat yourself with dignity. Recognize that you are learning. Recognize that you are growing. When I first started doing this, I remember saying, "This is ridiculous, it's so stupid." But as I stayed quiet and allowed the process to grow within me, something changed. A deep sense of peace and joy began to fill my spirit. I understood one important fact. When I learned how to respect myself and treat myself like no one else will do, life around me began changing. People felt there was something in me they could not understand, something whole, healthy, peaceful. So therefore, let's keep building step by step so you can see the progression. Waiting period 2. Govern your mind. When you learn to govern your mind, very little becomes impossible. You become the commander-in-chief of your life. You begin making decisions based on your convictions. You regain your sovereignty, not to dominate others, but to truly understand who you are. Think about this. Can you sit quietly without reaching for your phone? Without seeking approval? Without chasing distractions? What I'm really saying is this. Sit long enough to hear your voice beneath the noise. When you become the governor of your own mind, strength and clarity follow. Waiting period 3. Create an inner room no one can invade. This creates a safe place within you, a place where outside voices cannot interfere, a place where noise cannot control your thinking. Here's where your inner voice becomes clear, and the results are remarkable. When you become internally fulfilled, you no longer feel the need to perform for the world. Your actions begin to speak louder than your words. And when that happens, the world often becomes quiet enough to notice the progress you've made. You stop performing and you begin contributing. Don't become addicted to approval. Become empowered by creation. Waiting period 4. Building a roadmap. Years ago, I always carried a paper map in my car. I wanted to be sure I knew where I was going. Eventually, I needed it less. Today, we use GPS, guiding us step by step. Life works in a similar way. When we take quiet time and practice patience, clarity begins to appear. A roadmap begins to form. We begin to understand where we are going, why we are going there, and how we must proceed. But that certainty only comes when we slow down and listen. When we do, something beautiful begins to happen. We develop a deeper understanding of humanity, a process instead of constant drama, the discipline to pause before speaking, identity instead of performance, calm and honest communication, the ability to disagree without hostility, a desire to add value instead of chasing impressions. Between you and me, once you experience this transformation, your life will never look the same. I know this because I practice it every single day. Here's the balance. After experiencing this change, I realized something important. It all started with a simple decision. I invested in myself quietly. Here are a few simple things that make it possible. Wake up 5 minutes earlier. Stay disciplined. Believe that you will succeed. Remember that you are unique. Let me leave you with these wise words from Robert Heinlein. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia. until ultimately we become enslaved by it. After hearing this message, stop, think, execute, and start today. Take one small step, make it count, and remember, everything begins the moment you say, "It's up to me." Next week, we'll explore the results of quiet investments with the message, "Start contributing." Thank you for sharing this moment with me. If something you heard today stayed with you, don't rush past it. Sit with it. Let it work in you. If this episode helped you in any way, I invite you to like and subscribe. Share it with someone that will benefit from this. And may we continue walking this path together. I'm Tony Zotti. And remember, no one else can live this moment for you. Because your moment doesn't start tomorrow. Your moment starts now.